What about, you said the generosity. What about fundraisers for weddings and for funerals?
Do you mean like here?
Yeah, over here. Yeah. You know,
Well-
like, have you guys been familiar with those? Like in Kenya, we have what's called pre-weddings. I don't know that Nigerians do that, but in Kenya, we have pre-weddings where people raise money for someone to get married, which even as a Kenyan, I've always found very weird.
Ali is mean. Don't worry.
Yes, I personally never contribute to those
he's
pre-weddings. Pre-weddings, yeah. I mean, I'm on a blacklist. I'm on every blacklist. I never contribute to pre-weddings. And I think it's because one of my first experiences with pre-weddings was traumatic. Because, within our community, we don't do pre-weddings. So my first experience was here in the US where, people got me and I was told you're going to be on the committee. So that time you're feeling so confident. Oh, these guys have really respected me. They put me in the committee. What I didn't know is that being put in the committee means that you're contributing biggest amount of money. So at that time, committee members were being requested to give, I think it was $700 or $800. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
No wonder
you can't.
I don't wonder you're
Can you
refuse?
That's 8 pre-weddings. You gave how much?
So I was already.
Best to be in the
so
committee.
it was a trap.
No, the committee is a whole different other story.
So
but
on that
700?
particular one,
I don't know why he felt anyway.
On that particular one, I did end up. Giving, and unfortunately at that time,
You are gotten.
and
on that.
I was gotten. I got. I'm not even gonna argue on that. At that point,
No wonder you've been bitter since.
the worst thing about that time is that I wasn't even working.
And you gave
I was-
800.
And you gave?
I was. I got. Let's just.
So your trauma should not be
Did they
affecting
name
others.
a child after you? Are these people still together? I bet you they're not.
They're not. They're actually not.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, they're actually
That's
not.
right.
But
I think you guys hear about this.
His trauma.
But
is being
Yeah.
put out to affect others.
Yeah, but to me,
fine.
I'll be very comfortable to say, weddings, funerals, there's some that I will, but weddings, those I just don't do.
That's fine.
But have you guys interacted with this?
Yeah.
You go.
Okay, I was gonna say like the giving aspect here in the U.S. within the diasporas is definitely very prominent, and in my opinion, I don't really see an issue with the fundraisers because it's very I can tell it's just more community based. Like based off all the ones I've been to, it's more like praise and worship. Let's sing, let's dance, let's eat food, rather than let me milk your pockets. That's the second part, if that makes sense. So I feel like a lot of Kenyans just want an excuse to gather. So if the fundraiser is the excuse, it's okay. That's just at least from my perspective.
Okay. Do Nigerians do these two fundraisers
The
for
pre-wedding
weddings?
is that's the first time I've heard of that.
Really?
Okay.
You guys don't do pre-weddings?
Yeah, that's a very Kenyan thing, by the
I
way.
didn't know that.
You pay for your own wedding, and then what now happens is that the gifts that now come to
I
your
love
wedding
that.
are very lavish, or they end up spraying a lot of money to the point where some of that money is now recuperated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But pre-wedding is
I did not know
crazy.
that
So
was
the
a
lavish
Kenyan thing.
gifts, pre-wedding, wedding.
Yeah,
Almost
some
but the
will
gift-
be in forms of money.
Yes.
So
yeah,
whatever
at
you
least at that
spent
point, you're coming
on.
to the event. You're supposed to bring something.
Yes,
Right.
and that's understandable.
Yeah.
You're coming to a wedding, bring a gift. That's totally understandable. But this thing about pre-weddings, there's some that raise $70,000.
Wow.
Yes, especially in Massachusetts. Massachusetts is very notorious. I mean,
Let me throw
maybe people will say it's a good thing, but $70,000. I don't know what kind of wedding,
But some will say, someone will say, the thing is, I think you're taking the worst of that and vocalizing that.
Okay, here's my issue with especially unnecessary fundraisers like for weddings. Fundraisers for medical bills, like funerals, totally understand. Maybe it's an emergency.
Right.
But unnecessary fundraisers like for weddings, these are unnecessary burdens to the community. Because think about it. Right now, all of us here, every month, sometimes even every 2-3 weeks, we get added to a WhatsApp group, someone has died. someone has died.
That's
Our-
not-
Oh wow.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
Africa
No,
Welfare
that's
Association.
No, I know.
I know.
But you will still get added to a WhatsApp group. Whether that person has $1
million
insurance, that's like standard operating procedure, and understandable. For death, for someone who has a big hospital bill for $100 or another, that's understandable. But to me, it's these weddings. Now, there's already a burden on the community where you have to give, like maybe to 3 different funeral fundraisers in a month. Maybe that has costed you $300. And then someone throws in a wedding. I mean, come on. That becomes now that becomes a real burden to the community.
Pre-wedding.
Eh? Yes,
And
pre-wedding.
I'm going to invite you to mine. Whether you remove
No,
or not, I don't
those
care.
things
But you're going to be
should
invited.
Those things, if I'm made
Committee.
president, I will ban them.
Committee. You want to be put in the committee.
I completely
Nothing.
understand. I think what he's trying to say is that you're choosing to have a wedding. You can always push the wedding back. You're choosing to have that wedding at a date that you want to have it. But like a death or medical bills, you couldn't prevent those bills or that
Yeah.
money being needed, and you need to come up with that money some type of way. So that's where the community.
A wedding is a choice, and if you can't afford to
Don't have the
have
wedding
it,
yet.
then don't have it, or
Or
reduce the scale,
do what you can
Yeah.
afford.
or
what you can afford.
walk into the justice of the peace, sign that sucker, get your witnesses, and go eat lunch at Ruth
And then
Chris
you
Steakhouse.
can always have the ceremony another
Or
time.
you can, Ruth Chris, you go to cheesecake.
No, I'm just
You
saying.
can
I'm
go
just
to
saying.
cheesecake.
You might have Ruth
Yeah.
Chris Steakhouse money,
Yeah.
but you don't have wedding dress money. I don't know if you're getting it.
Olive Garden.
Or
Oh.
Olive Garden. Yeah.
Or you
know.
go to the buffet and eat all you can eat.
Yeah, so
Golden
so,
Corral.
yeah,